Have you ever watched a fantasy movie and wished you could just step through the screen? Wished you could walk the cobblestone streets of a medieval kingdom? Or find a tranquil village nestled by a crystal-clear lake, completely untouched by the noise of the modern world? What if I told you those places aren't just special effects? They exist. All over the globe, there are hidden villages so breathtakingly beautiful, they look like they were designed by a Hollywood art director. Today, we're journeying to these real-life fantasy realms, places that prove magic is closer than you think. Our first stop takes us to the heart of Austria, to a place that feels like the opening scene of a classic fairy tale. This is Hallstatt, tucked between the glistening, mirror-like surface of Lake Hallstatt and the imposing Dachstein Alps that rise dramatically into the sky. Hallstatt is a vision of impossible beauty. Pastel-colored 16th century houses seem to cling to the steep mountainside, one on top of the other, their reflections dancing on the water below. Swans glide gracefully across the lake, adding to the serene storybook atmosphere. For centuries, this village was only accessible by boat or through narrow mountain trails, which helped preserve its enchanting character. But Hallstatt's magic isn't just skin deep. It runs into the very mountains that cradle it. This area is home to the world's oldest salt mine, with a history stretching back over 7,000 years. Imagine the generations of people who have lived in this secluded paradise, their lives intertwined with the lake and the mountain, walking through its narrow streets, with flower boxes spilling vibrant colors from every balcony. You genuinely feel like you've left reality behind. It's the very definition of a fairy tale town, a place where you half expect a princess to appear on a balcony, or a kindly old wizard to greet you from a doorway. From the mountains of Austria, we travel to the flat, green landscapes of the Netherlands, to a village with a secret. Imagine a place with no cars, no roads, no traffic noise at all. Instead, the gentle lapping of water is the soundtrack to daily life. Welcome to Giethoorn, often called the Venice of the North. Here, an intricate network of canals takes the place of streets. Over 170 small wooden bridges arc over the waterways, connecting the charming thatched roof farmhouses that sit on their own little peat islands. The only way to get around is by boat, on foot, or by bicycle along the adjacent paths. The most popular boats are called whisper boats, which have silent electric motors, preserving the village's incredible tranquility. As you glide along the canals, you pass by perfectly manicured gardens, vibrant with tulips and roses, and watch as residents go about their day, using boats to get groceries or visit neighbors. This isn't a tourist gimmick. It's a way of life that has existed for centuries, born from the area's history of peat harvesting, which created the lakes and canals. Giethoorn feels like a community from a fantasy novel, a peaceful, water-bound society of hobbits or elves, completely detached from the rush of the outside world. It's one of those truly hidden villages where time seems to slow down, inviting you to simply drift and dream. Now, let's journey far to the east, to a place where winter transforms the landscape into a scene from a mystical Japanese legend. In the remote mountains of the Shogawa River Valley in Japan lies Shirakawa-go. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is famous for its unique farmhouses, built in a style known as Gasho-zukuri. The name translates to constructed like hands in prayer, and you can immediately see why. The houses have massive, steeply pitched thatched roofs that are designed to withstand the immense weight of the heavy winter snows, which can blanket the region for months. In winter, Shirakawa-go is pure magic. The village is covered in a thick, pristine layer of white, And at night, when the houses are illuminated, they glow with a warm, inviting light against the cold, dark landscape. It looks like a secret village of spirits from an animated masterpiece. But the beauty of Shirakawa-go isn't just in its architecture, it's in its community. The roofs must be rethatched every few decades, a massive undertaking that requires the entire village to come together and work in unison. This spirit of cooperation has kept their heritage alive for generations. It feels ancient, sacred, and profoundly peaceful, a world away from the neon glow of modern Japan, offering a glimpse into a more harmonious way of life. Let's head back to Europe, to a town that looks as if it was frozen in the Middle Ages and sealed inside a snow globe. We're traveling along Germany's romantic road to Rothenburg ob der Tauber. This isn't just a village with a few old buildings. It's a completely preserved, walled medieval city that transports you back in time the moment you step through its gates. You can walk the entire length of the stone fortifications that have encircled the town for centuries, looking down on a maze of cobblestone lanes and a sea of half-timbered houses painted in shades of ochre, rose, and sky blue. The most famous spot is Plum Lane, a small yellow house at a fork in the road, framed by two imposing medieval towers. An image so perfect it has come to define the quintessential German fairy tale town. As you wander, you'll discover hidden courtyards, ancient inns, and shops selling traditional crafts. The town has a law that all signage must be made of ornate wrought iron, adding to the authentic historical feel. You half expect to find a blacksmith forging a magic sword, or a town crier announcing a royal decree. It's like stepping onto one of the world's most authentic fantasy movie locations, a place where every corner turned could be the start of a grand adventure or a quest for a hidden artifact. From the storybook charm of Germany, we venture to the edge of the world, to a place of raw, dramatic, and untamed beauty. In the remote North Atlantic, part of the Faroe Islands, lies the impossibly picturesque village of Gatsadalur. For most of its history, this tiny hamlet was one of the most isolated in Europe, hemmed in by soaring, near-vertical cliffs on all sides. The only way for its handful of residents to reach the outside world was to make a strenuous and dangerous hike over a 2,000-foot mountain pass. This isolation kept Gatsadalur a secret from the world for centuries. Today, a tunnel has finally connected it to the rest of the islands, but it has lost none of its mystical aura. The village itself is a tiny cluster of traditional turf-roofed houses, perched precariously on the edge of a cliff. But the true spectacle is the Mulafasur waterfall, which flows from the village and plunges directly off the cliff face into the churning waves of the Atlantic Ocean below. The sight of this waterfall, with the green cliffs and the tiny village above it, is one of the most breathtaking scenes on the planet. When we talk about hidden villages, Gatsadalur is the ultimate example. It feels like a secret outpost from a Viking saga or a secluded haven for dragon riders. A place where the power of nature is absolute and human existence is just a small, humble part of a much grander, more epic story. For our final destination, we travel to the rolling green hills of the English countryside, to a village that embodies a cozier, more gentle kind of fantasy. This is Bibury, located in the Cotswolds region of England. Once described by the artist William Morris as the most beautiful village in England, Bibury is the essence of rustic charm. Its most famous feature is Arlington Row, a nationally protected architectural site. This picturesque line of weavers' cottages, built in the 1380s from local honey-colored stone, with their steeply pitched roofs, sits alongside the gently flowing River Colne. The scene is so idyllic, so quintessentially English that it feels like you've walked into a landscape painting. The river is a designated wild trout stream, and the surrounding area is a peaceful expanse of water meadows and lush greenery. There are no grand castles or dramatic cliffs here. The magic of Bibury is subtle and comforting. It's the kind of place you could imagine hobbits living a quiet, peaceful life, tending to their gardens and fishing in the stream. It's a reminder that not all fantasy movie locations have to be epic and grand. Some are simply perfect, peaceful havens that feel like coming home, even if you've never been there before. From the alpine splendor of Hallstatt to the misty cliffs of Gassadalur, these incredible places are more than just beautiful destinations. They are a testament to the fact that our world is still filled with wonder, with pockets of magic hidden away from the everyday. They prove that the fantasy worlds we love in stories and films have roots in real places, built by real people. These hidden villages show us that sometimes the most magical journey you can take is not to another world, but to a forgotten corner of our own. Thanks for joining us on this incredible adventure. If you dream of visiting one of these places, let us know in the comments. And for more journeys to the world's most amazing locations, be sure to like and subscribe.